What's up, guys? Welcome to my new video, and today's video is going to be on a tier list for Siege. So I have been playing Siege for about a month now. I just got into it, so I have a 2-year gap, and there are definitely operators who are better than other operators, for sure. So this game is completely different to when I last played. Operators are different. It's a completely different world. So, in my opinion, this is again my opinion on this tier list. So I could be wrong. People could disagree. That's totally fine. But this is where I'm gonna place these operators. So first one is Sledge. So he got a really. I used to say Sledge was about an A or S because he had frags. He had the SG-11, 2 armor, 2 speed, an ACOG. And now he's kind of not as good, in my opinion. Like, he's good still. He doesn't have the SG-11. He's a 3 armor now, which I dislike, and he has a 1.5. If they would have given him a 2 point, I would be happier. I think Sledge is a great operator. He's a great, well-balanced operator. He could be B or A. You could argue both, but since I used to use him all the time, man, I do not like this nerf. I did not like it when I came back, and I don't use him as much anymore because of everything that's happened. So I think Sledge is a B. I think that's a good spot for him. He can open up hatches. He can open up the floor underneath. It's pretty good, but I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's just not for me. Next is Thatcher. I think Thatcher is an S operator. He has 2 fantastic guns. His ability is always fantastic to have on a team. Now, is he as strong as he was? No. As before? No. But he's still really good. He's got claymores to stop runouts. I think Thatcher's one of the best operators in the game, and you can never go wrong with having a Thatcher on your team. It also depends on the map, but Thatcher is always an S tier pick. Nothing can go wrong with them. Next is Smoke. I think Smoke's an A. He could be an S or an A. He could be here. But I think I'm going to put him A, because I think he's a little worse than Mute. Yeah, he's fantastic. Like, he can open up walls. He has barbed wire and shields. He is fantastic. The SG-11 is an amazing gun. Smoke is fantastic. He's got great ways of stopping people from coming in, cutting off rotates, holding attackers out. I think he is super good, and I think a Smoke, you can never go wrong with the Smoke on your team, to be honest. He is fantastic. There's nothing you can say about him. I think he might be a little too strong. I think what you should do for Smoke or Mute is I think Smoke should only get his submachine gun. I don't think you should get the SB-11. He can keep his shotgun, but I don't think you should keep the SB-11. If that's a nerf, that would put him at a better place, I feel like, because SG-11 is so good. It is so good. It's the best submachine gun besides, like, actual, like, submachine guns, you know? I think that he could be a little bit better, but he could be argued S or A, to be honest. Like, this is really close. Next is Mute. I think Mute's an S. His Mute is a utility, is fantastic. He's got a nitro cell, he's got a shotgun, and he's got the SB-11. Like, you can't go wrong with having a Mute. He's fantastic. I think to better balance him, I think you should take away his shotgun. And the reason why is because he already has a lot of versatility on his team. He can open holes, he open hatches, can rotates. He's got a fantastic SB-11, but he's also got a shotgun. Like, he is really strong, and maybe some people might disagree with me, but I think he is fantastic, and you can never go wrong with having a Mute on your team. Let's get next to it. Thermite. So I know a lot of people don't like Thermite because you have to run up to the wall and open it and shit with him. He's not as safe as, like, Ace. But, dude, Ace makes small little holes that aren't as big as his, where you have to jump in. Thermite, he blows that hole right up and you can walk right in. That jump in could get you killed. Yeah, you can throw another one, but... And also, Ace can't open hatches. He has to use 2 to open a single hatch. Thermite can open that 1 try. I think Thermite's gun, the 5.56, is fucking amazing. I think Thermite is definitely slept on. I think if I want someone to open a wall, I want Thermite. Thermite is the way to go. I love Thermite. All right, Ash. I think she's a B. She is good. They gave her claymores, which I think claymores are broken. I don't understand why attackers should get 2 claymores per operator. That's insane. That is legit insane. I think she could be C or B because she doesn't bring much utility and she's just a fragger, but she's a really good fragger. And she can help open walls. Ash is good. I just think there's better operators I would want on my team than an Ash. I don't really like having Ash most of the time. She could be B or C. I think she's a B. I don't think she's any higher than that. That's my opinion. All right, next is Pulse. He's a B. He's pretty straightforward. If you want to deny plants, you can. Go underneath, blow him up with the nitro cell, blah, blah, blah. You know Pulse, how he works. He's good. I don't see him being anywhere else than a B. He's still a good operator. He could be argued to C a little bit, just because I think Castle is better than him. And to get to that, I think Castle's an A. He can slow down rotates. He has the super shorty, so that shotgun's fantastic. I'm mad that Mozzie lost it. That's still like one of my biggest gripes. And no, I think he's fantastic. He is super good. Just being able to stop the rush, stopping windows from being open, he is awesome. And you can do castle strats with him. I've seen some nasty castle strats since coming back. He is awesome, and you can never go wrong with a castle on your team. Monty, I think he's a C, and here's the reason why. He could be a C or D. If you have a team that's built around Monty, he's fantastic. Like, you can make Monty work, but if it's just some dude solo queuing, nobody really wants a Monty most of the time, unless you have like a strat you're gonna do. Like, that's it. That's what Monty's used for. If you have a strat, that's what you're going to use him for. If you don't, and no one wants a Monty on their team. So, I don't hate Monty. If you have a good strat, he could be up here. But if you don't, he's average tier for me anyways. Next is Twitch. So, Twitch could be getting a nerf with her vertical grip. Oh, you're getting another drone. Who cares? Twitch's gun, F2, is already one of the hardest guns to control in the game. And I think Twitch, if she gets that nerf, man, Twitch is already A or B. The F2 is fantastic. Her utility gets beat by Mew. Man, so right now, I think she's a good B. I think her F2 is good, but her utility is alright. She's got claymores. She's good, but if she gets that vertical grip nerf, she's a C, bro. 100%. I think Doc is a B. I think Doc is so overshadowed by Rook, it's not even close. Doc is good. He heals someone back to 100%. I'm not arguing that, but my problem is that he's just nowhere near as good as Rook, man. It's not a fair comparison with these two. And I think if you would have make Doc better, I think his MP5 should have an ACOG. I think he deserves, if you want to make Doc be used more, I think you need to make him have his ACOG back, because why choose Doc when Rook is just better in every way? Like, he's just better. I think Doc needs an MP5 or his ACOG on his MP5. I think that would definitely help him out to become an A. But right now, I think he's a B. And I would rather have a Rook, and who is next is Rook, and he's an S. You have to have him on every team, bro. He's so good. Being able to pick yourself up as a defender, being able to give your defenders armor, he's fantastic, bro. He has MP5, the P90. Like, there's nothing you can go wrong with Rook. He's got impacts. Rook is fantastic, and if he's on your team, you can't go wrong with it. He is awesome, and I think he is super well. I think he should be on every team. You can't go wrong with Rook. There's nothing you can go wrong with Rook, and there's no arguing it. Use D or C. Like, he's not good. but he's not bad. But I wouldn't really want to fuse on my team either. Only like bad players die to fuse utility. It can make people move, but that just depends, bro. I think he's D. He's got a good assault rifle. Um, but I really wouldn't want him on my team. And yeah, I just don't like him that much. Next is Glads. I have a hate relationship because almost every Glads I know sucks, but Glads can be like a good operator. He can be with the smokes. If you have a good strat with Glads, same thing with Monty. Like Glads with Capital is a fantastic duo. But most Glazes I see just aren't that good. He does have the bearing 9 now, which makes him a little bit more usable. I I think he's a C, bro. I think it depends. He's the same boat as Monty. I don't want him on my team, but I like he does have usability. There's some operators in this game that I think are just complete garbage, and Glaz is usable. He's got strats. It's just you have to use those strats. Next is Tachanka. I think he's C as well. He's not bad. His utility is pretty good at cutting off waves, but I think there's better operators on defense you can go with, and he's all right. And like that's about it. Next is Capcan. I think Capcan is a good A. He's annoying, bro. He is annoying. His utility is really annoying. It does damage. I think all trap operators are fantastic in the game because sometimes you don't even look. I know some people are like, oh, it's so stupid, but you know, heat of the moment, rush in, get hit, and he can one-shot somebody if he puts 2 on a single door. He is fantastic. His gun is great. There's nothing wrong with going to Capcan on your team. He's good at stopping the rush, good at stopping people from pushing in. You can't go wrong with him. Blitz is a C as well. I think he's just, you have to build a team around him, and he's just not as good as he used to be. Yeah, he's pretty annoying, but honestly, he's pretty easily countered as well. But if you do build he's the same thing as with Monty and Glaz. Honestly, I might move these two down, to be honest. But I think he's a little bit better. I think, yeah, I'm gonna move him down. I don't like Fuse. I think he's a D, actually, after changing my mind. I think he's usable, but not that great. You gotta build around him. IQ. The only thing good about IQ is her gun. She lost her frag a long time ago. I hated that nerf. She deserves to have frags. It make her a little bit better at fragging than other operators, but the only thing her utility's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. Her gun's fantastic though. She's got the AUG and the commando. I'd probably put her B. She's not bad. She's a good fragger, but there's better operators out there, man, than IQ. Bandit's next. So I could argue Bandit as an S or A. He could be both, but I just don't think he's as good as Mute or Cade. So I'm going to put him here. I think it's a good A is for Bandit. Bandit tricking's pretty good. You can never go wrong with a Bandit on your team either. You can swap him out for Mute. Both of them are fantastic. But I think he's just not as good as the other one. So that's just my opinion on it. He could be higher, could be an S, but I just don't think he is. Next is Jaeger. I think Jaeger's a B. I think Jaeger could be a C. His utility is fantastic, and he's pretty straightforward, but in this current meta, his gun's just not that good. It's been nerfed so many times, and I'm not a fan of it. And yeah, I think if you were to make Jaeger better, make him be like an A, I think his assault rifle needs a 1.5 sight. I think that would put him in a better place around here, A, but as it stands, I think he's a B, man. I do not really like using Jaeger because of all the nerfs he's got. His utility is fantastic. I think his utility is one of the best in the game up here, but there's better operators or people who can do the same as him. And I don't know. He's a good B, I think. Buck is... man, he can destroy deployable shields. I think he's a B as well. And the reason why is he lost his frags, which I fucking hate. I think he should have never lost his frags. Yes, he has a good gun, but it's not the best assault rifle in the game, and his utility is fantastic, but he doesn't have frags. He does have a way to destroy deployable shields, but he could have just done that if he just kept his frags, and I'm just not a fan of it. I think he's in about the same boat as Sledge. I think they were nerfed a little too hard, and I can't put them any higher. I do think they're both fantastic, though. They're both great picks. I just think that I think they were nerfed a little too hard, both of them, in my opinion. Frost, I think, is an I think she's an A or an S. You can argue. Maybe with the upcoming nerf, with her gun getting nerfed, she'll be in a better place. But as it stands right now, I think she's an S. Like, her gun's fantastic. It's got, like, no recoil. She's a great operator. I think I'm going to go A, but she could be up here. Like, I don't know. She is getting a nerf, though, which is exciting. Her gun does way too much damage to be a submachine gun. And there's not really else you can mess with her. She's pretty straightforward. She's a trap operator. I think trap operators are always fantastic. And yeah, Blackbeard's F. He fucking sucks. I think he's complete hot trash. Doesn't bring anything to the team really. I don't want a Blackbeard on my team. They've nerfed him to a point where it's not any point of using him anymore. And I know he was super broken, and everyone understands that. But nah, I think he's ass. Nah. Valkyrie, I think, is a fucking ass, bro. She's one of the best operators to bring on defense. She gives intel. She gives you intel, and her guns are fantastic. Nitro cell. She can do some nice nitro cell strats if people don't know about them. She's fantastic. Good way to set. She's just great all around. Intel, cameras, amazing. Honestly, one of the best operators on defense. Honestly, could go fantastic. This one is maybe a bad take, but I think Capitel's an A. What? Capitel an A? That's insane. And here's the reason why. He has claymores, smokes, and fire. He can also bring breach charges so he can open up walls. He is so versatile, bro. And his guns are both fantastic. His LMG and his assault rifle are both fantastic, dude. He is great. I think Capitel should be a 2-speed, 2 armor. I think that would put him in a better place. If he wasn't a 1-speed or 3-speed and he was 2, he would be up here for me. I would use him so much more often. But since he's a 1-speed or 3-speed, I'm going to have to put him here. But he brings so much versatility to the team. Fantastic. I think he is one of the best operators to bring. Smokes, flames, cuts off pathways, claymores, or if you want, hard breaches. Like, he is that guy. He is that guy. And I love him. Caveira, trash. Honestly, she's not that good. If you have a good team that just stops her roaming, you can easily beat her. I don't think she's that good, so I'm gonna put her right here. Yeah, I don't like Caveira. Not it for me, man. Yeah, she has a good utility where she can show people's ping, but honestly, Valkyrie does that better if you just have cams in the right spots. Next is Hibana. I think Hibana's pretty fantastic. I could say she's a B, but I think she's an A. Her stuns, her bearing 9, her assault rifle, which is fantastic, her utility, which opens up hatches, walls, and she's just fantastic, bro. She is so good. I think she's not as good as Thermite, I would say, but she's just as near good. Actually, she might be a little better in some rides, and the Thermite's somewhat better in other rides, so that's just my opinion. They pros and cons, guys. Her guns are fantastic. She is always an amazing operator to bring. You can never go wrong with a Hibana. Echo, I think he could be an S or an A because he brings utility, he brings intel, can stop plants. He is fantastic. And I think he's an S. He's really annoying to play against, and Echo is super annoying. My only gripe is I don't really like his gun anymore, but he's still in a solid place. I think Echo's fantastic. Um, yeah, I think he's great. So honestly, you can never go wrong with an Echo. Jackal, like he's bad. Like his gun is so amazing, and his ability is fantastic. Can stop roamers. I think he's an A or an S because honestly, there's a reason why he's banned, and he's just annoying. Like for roamers, for people on objective, he's an annoying operator. Being pinged constantly is stupid annoying, and I totally understand why he would be an S or an A. His gun is fantastic, one of the best ARs in the game. You can't go wrong with a Jackal. If you get Jackal, bro, it's pretty solid. Mira is a S. The strats you can do with her, the Vector is so fucking amazing. No recoil at all. It's the easiest gun to shoot in this fucking game, pretty much. Mira is fantastic. Can't go wrong with her, man. Cannot go wrong with Mira. Yeah, there's not anything to say. She was nerfed pretty hard with the deploy or her ability, but honestly, it's not that bad. I think Ying's B. Her ability's awesome, but it also can just blind your team. She's an operator that can work really well with Monty, and I think she depends on the map too, man. And Jaeger is a hard counter, so is Wamai. She's good though. I think she is in a good place. She could be a little better, but I think she's not a bad operator to bring. I just think she depends on the map. Legion, I think, is an A. His gun's fantastic. He brings impacts, his traps, intel, stuff like that, man. He is fantastic. I think Legion's always a great pick. Having the Goyus and stuff just being on the ground, fantastic. You can't go wrong with the Legion, man. The intel he brings, stopping rushes, anything that can stop a rush or stop operators' momentum, it's pretty fantastic. So I would definitely go. He's an A. S is Sophia is fantastic. I think she is an S tier operator, and you can't go wrong with her. You generally can't. She has claymores. She's a 3 armor, which is I don't like as much. I wish she was a 2 armor 2 speed, but that's fine. Her gun, the 7.62, is fantastic. Her utility breaks open walls, hatches. Then you can stop people with the fucking other grenade. She is fantastic, man. You can never go wrong with a Sophia. She's one of the best fraggers. And solo, like, if you're soloing, she's fantastic. One of the best soloers. Ella is... I like Ella, but she doesn't bring much to the team besides her charge, her utility. Her gun's pretty much ass, but it's... I'd say she's a B. I think I would rather have an Ella than a Caveira. Yeah, but no, I think Ella, honestly, to buff Ella, I think you should either... What I would do with the Scorpion is I would make it have less ammo, but have better recoil control. But not like Mozzie's gun. I think it's just her gun is so hard to control because it goes side to side. So it's like impossible to track it sometimes, man. It's super hard. It's one of the hardest guns to control. And I just think she's been nerfed quite a bit because she was really OP. Dokubi's an S. I think calling, hacking into people's cams, legit counters this one. Uko, Valkyrie, she is fantastic. She has great guns. You can never go wrong with Dokubi, honestly. She's fantastic. Vigil's an A. He could be argued a B. He's probably one of the better roamers in the game. Not being able to see on cams, impacts, his assault rifle is fantastic. Can never go wrong with Vigil, for sure. He's a great roamer, probably one of the best in the game. Lion could be argued B or A. He is pretty good. He has great guns. He has EMP grenades. He's pretty good, and his utility is fantastic because it stops the roamers, stops people from moving. That means you can push, and it's loud. The only thing is, he only gets 3 of them, and that's about it. He could be argued B, but I think he's a good A. He brings a lot of teamwork to his team. Pairing it up with Dokkaebi, man, it's a pretty nasty combo. Finka, I think, is a B. She could be a C, but I think if you're solo queuing, she's a B because she's fantastic. Her gun is great. Her utility is pretty fantastic. It can pick up team members. It gives less recoil control. It makes it easier to control your recoil. She's a great solo if you're trying to solo queue. I think she's fantastic. Alibi's an A or S. Both her guns are great. The shotgun is fantastic. Her submachine gun's fantastic. Impacts. Her utility, I think, is fantastic. People hate on it because they don't know how to use it. If you put her ability, her decoys in great spots, bro, she can ping motherfuckers behind. Well, she is fantastic. I probably would say the best roamer in the game. Up there anyways. Next is Maestro. I think Maestro's overly hated. I think he's fantastic. Both of his guns are fantastic. His utility is not as good as Echo's or Valkyrie's, but it's still pretty good. It did get a heavy nerf, but I think he's a solid B, man. Like, I think he brings a lot to the team. Pretty good. He can do his intel, can stop the plant, can destroy drones. And yeah, I think he's fantastic. And there's some spots where you could put his Maestros into some really good spots. Let's go with Maverick. Maverick, he could be an A, could be a B. He is getting a buff here soon. His guns are going to do a little bit more damage. His MP4 is going to get a 2 times. So if that buff does come through, I think I'm going to put him A because he's going to be a lot better now. The M4 is already great. I just think it needs a 2 times, and I think he's great. He can get hatches. He can get walls. He is a fantastic operator. I think you can't go wrong with a Maverick. Clash, she's just annoying. I don't think Clash is good. I just find her annoying. She's just really annoying. But the problem is she gets intel for her team, and she's pretty hard to take down at some points, but she's not the best. I'm going to put her at a C, actually. I think if you have a good Clash, she can be super fucking annoying, but if you don't, she's a C, I think. She's not the worst operator in the game, but she's pretty annoying. That's all I'm going to say. Like, she's annoying, but that's about it. Nomad, I think Nomad gets overly hated. I think Nomad is either A or S, and the reason why is she can stop all roaming in the game. She is fantastic. I think people over-hate her a little bit. Is she S-tier material? I think so. I think Nomad is an S-tier operator. You cannot go wrong with stopping roamers. Stopping hop-outs. Stopping things, dude. Yes, she got a nerf a little bit, but she still got 2 fantastic guns. Cannot go wrong with Nomad. I think she's a great pick for any team. And up next is Cade. Can't go wrong with Cade. I think he's better than Bandit. You can put Cades in spots where Kale or Kali can't destroy them. Cade is fantastic. I think his submachine gun's not it for me, but his shotgun is pretty nice. Cannot go wrong with the Cade. Gridlock, I think, is an A. She stops roaming. She's pretty good at it, too. She's about the same as Nomad. She got an A cog. Can't go wrong with a Gridlock. I just think Nomad does it a little better. They're both fantastic. You can argue, you can honestly swap these two, but I think I like Nomad a little bit more just because she's a 2 armor, 2 speed, and that's about it. You can't go wrong with Gridlock. Mozzie's an A. I think he's great. If he had his super shorty, I'd probably put him up here, but since he lost that a long time ago, I would probably put him here. He's got 2 great guns. The fucking submachine gun with 16 bullets is fantastic. Can't think of its name right now. Mozzie's fantastic. Can get utility because he can take people's cams or drones. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, he's fantastic, bro. He is fantastic, and can't go wrong with having a Mozzie. Nook is an S, bro. It's her utility. She got grenades, hard wall breaches, and EMP grenades. Her gun did get a nerf, but her utility is still pretty fantastic. She is amazing. I used to not like Nook, but she's definitely grown on me, and she can pretty much fill any role if she wants. And she's not a bad solo queue either. Like, you can solo queue with Nook and be fine. Yeah, I don't think she's bad at all. B, Warden. I don't think... The only thing he's got is his grenade, or his his submachine gun, and at 1.5. I don't like Warden, bro. He's not that great. He could be an A, but I just don't find him that special right now. Like, he's not bad. He's not a terrible pick, but he's not the best pick. Maru is a B. She's pretty straightforward, man. You could argue she's a C. Pretty easy to stop sometimes. Super telling to know when she's coming. Honestly, you could argue she's a C, bro. You really can. You can also argue she's a B. You can also argue she's an S, because sometimes you can get some nasty flakes if they're not expecting it. But I think she's actually a C. She doesn't bring much to the team besides rushing, and that's about it. Goyu, if you prepare him up with Capcan, he's pretty good. He also stops people from rushing in. He's got 2 good guns. Honestly, he's not that bad. You could argue he's an A. Honestly, he is, probably, because he's got Mira's gun, one of the best guns in the game. He's got a good shotgun. He can stop people from rushing in. She's not bad, honestly. Kali is she's the same boat as Glaz, man. Honestly, could have an amazing Kali, but most people aren't good with them, and that's my problem. And I don't usually want her on my team because most people aren't good with her. If you're good with her, up here. But I think she's just not it, honestly. I just don't like having Kali on my team. Maybe a personal bias, but that's me. I think Wamei's ability isn't better than Jaeger's, but I think Wamei's AUG is better than his gun. It is maybe getting a nerf, so we might be seeing this change. He's fantastic. Honestly, he's probably a B as well. See, the thing is, like, better utility, better gun. Better utility, better gun. I think they're both B, honestly. That's about it. Ana is an S. She's the best fragger in the game if you want to frag. She's amazing at being a solo queue if you want. She gets pretty much 5 drones if you have enough time. Grenades. The G36 is fantastic. You can't go wrong with Ana. And I don't think she's broken. I just think her elite skin is so fucking amazing. It's from Nier Automata, so like you can't go wrong. And I don't think she's broken. That's why I think people are picking her so much. Oryx he's probably one of the better roamers in the game for sure. I think he's a good A. But I also think he could be a B, A or B. He's pretty good, but he's also bad. I think he's a good A though. He could argue both of them. Climbing up hatches. He's a really good roamer. That's it. And he's good at stopping any shield operator. Ace is also an A. I don't hate Ace, if that was I was trying to get a point with Thermite. I just don't like having an Ace for getting walls and stuff, because Thermite opens the wall and you can just walk in. Ace, he doesn't. You have to throw 2 just to make it the same. Ace is still fantastic. He's a great solo queue. If you're solo queuing, go Ace as well. He's fantastic. Melusi, I think she's annoying. I think she's in a better spot because it never made sense to me why she would roam. It just did not make sense why she was roaming up, because her ability is to counter rushes, to counter people from rushing into the objective. So it just never made sense to me why she was a roamer. And I think she's actually better. It makes more sense now, for me anyways. I know some people don't like it, but I think she's actually in a better place now than what she was. Zero is an A. Can never go wrong. Honestly, you can argue he is the best solo operator. If you're solo queuing, best operator in the game to go. Honestly. If this was a solo list, he would be up here. But he brings cameras for himself. He can destroy deployable shields. He can destroy walls. He is fantastic, dude. Zero is never a bad pick. If you're solo queuing, he is fantastic. Got 2 great guns, and you can't go wrong with him. Aruni, I think, is an A. Again, she's got great guns as well. Can open up hatches with just a fist. Great at opening. Very versatile. My only gripe with her is I wish she was a 2 armor, but it makes sense. But that's about it. I think she's a good A. I think she's in a good place. Flores, I think, is a B. I don't know. I don't like Flores. He's just not my playstyle. I get the whole point of him, but he can counter mute pretty well, actually. But he's got a good gun. I just don't like him. He's not my playstyle, and I don't know. I think it's a B. I think Thunderbird is an A or B. The problem is she's a glass, like a double-edged sword. She can also heal your enemy team, but also heal your team at the same time. And she's not bad. She's got very good versatile weapons. I think she's pretty good. I think she's good, but she's also negative because it can affect the enemy team. Osa is... I honestly don't know. She's pretty easily countered, but she's also really good. I think she's an A, honestly. She can be countered pretty easy. Anyone with an impact can beat her. Oh, no, okay, cool. But the thing is, it is so hard to get that impact on her because she could just shoot you. I think she's fantastic. Yeah, you can't go wrong with her, honestly. I think Thorn is an A, could be an S. Her utility is pretty good, and if you pair it with Melusi, it might be pretty OP. The only reason is she isn't higher as an S, because I think her submachine gun's broken. It does way too much damage with no recoil to be that good, and I hope the nerf goes through with her, because I fucking hate her submachine gun. 44 damage. It's not fair at all. If her utility was faster, she would be an S, 100%. But as it stands right now, I think she's an A. As a Nami, I think is an S. I think stopping rushing, you can do some nasty fucking rotates. You can do a lot of nasty shit with this operator. So good, honestly. Super good. You cannot go wrong with an Azanami. Maybe I might be highballing her, but I think she's pretty good. Sense is an E. I think he's fucking trash. He doesn't really do much. Honestly, Glaz is better than him. He can't even see through his own walls. Oh, he's pretty good at stopping people from peeking. Doesn't matter. You can't see them. And I just don't think he's that great. I don't want him on my team most of the time. Gun's alright. Shoots fast, but has a high recoil. Grim is ass. Shitty utility. Shitty. He's got the commando, which isn't too bad, but he's just ass. I think he's just not a good operator. Souls, I think, is an S or an A. But her being able... She's probably one of the better roamers because she can see electronics. She can stop roamers or people from trying to get into the objective. She's probably one of the best roamers. I think she's pretty fantastic, to be honest. But, honestly, it could go either way, honestly. She could be an A. She has the HP11 and the P90, though. That's why she's so good. And her utility is good. So, honestly, she's S. That's my list. It might be a little biased, but I think this is actually a good list. These are the ops I would like to have on my team most of the time. And yeah, I think that's just my opinion after coming back from this game for about 2 years. Definitely different game from when I last played. Definitely different environment, different ops. And it's just totally different. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this tier list. If you guys did, hit that like and subscribe. I might do another one here with updates and more updates come out. We'll see. This might change. Who knows? But this is what I think. This is my opinion on the operators in the current state of the meta. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like and subscribe. And I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Deuces!